scope way further ahead than just Europe, so it's no surprise if anyone would use an Australian tactics, it's them. Nice beater battles here. The ball is going to barely... Oh, and it goes over the boundary. But that might have been a tackle from behind, yeah. It's a push. No, just the inbounding. Interesting. And a fast break through the right side to the center by Raptors number 79. Good challenges here by the Rhinos, but Raptors can still take the ball inside the Rhinos keeper zone. Good challenges here by Hannah Große and Leander Troll.
Number 22, H. Ridley, still maintaining possession. So does high-level athletics in her spare time. Quidditch is her full-time sport.
Nice challenges here. Nice
and
beats. And that will be Rhinos keeper ball. Once again, this is an exciting game, wouldn't you agree?
Amazing. Raptors, the Velociraptors, appear to be, they're holding firm down on the defense, but the offense is just a little bit less passing. It's, in my opinion, a little bit waste of their talents. They have some incredible passing game, and they're trying to just drive through when the Rhinos are just taking none of it.
Bludgeon control under dispute, but Leander Troll is beat out, and it is Raptors ball once again.
Will they go for a drive or a passing offense?
That looks like a drive. Very few here.
Beautiful! And they go for the passing offense.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous equalizer here by the Raptors. Rheinos Bonn 20, Velociraptors Quidditch Club 20.
Just as I said it, the Velociraptors are adapting. They are watching and seeing what doesn't work. They are never making...
I'm terribly sorry. Rheinos Bonn 20, Velociraptors Quidditch Club 30. Terribly sorry. That was the score to go ahead. I'm terribly sorry.
Velociraptors never making the same mistake twice. They are adapting very well to this new contender to their title.
Nice speed here by Leon Burgers, and that will give Christian Zimpermann an opportunity. Pass behind the hoop, but it is intercepted. Zimpermann still here challenging the Raptors, but yeah, is being called back into defense. And the Rhinos have gotten the bludgeon control back. Now this will make things a little harder for the Raptors.
Oh, that I believe is... Was that legal?
Oh, that was legal. That was
legal.
Fine, yeah.
No, she did let go of
a lovely pass to the left side here, but all alone versus a beater. Yeah, that was never
beautiful intercept. Very interesting. That was definitely a panic pass there from the Rhinos.
Yeah, absolutely.
A flatline pass straight across the hoops is a very easy intercept for most keepers. Yeah. So I guess when you're getting stared down by another Velociraptor, you do tend to get a bit panicked.
Solid defense here by the Rhinos, but a blocked beat here from the Raptors side, and a lovely try, and it does not go through, and that will be Rhinos inbounding ball once again.
Some very vicious and very hard tackles being seen here on the pitch today. They both want this very badly.
Yeah. I mean, Rhinos for the longest time were seen as the physical team in a German Quidditch scene that was relatively low on physicality. And so it stands to reason that with the advent of more physicality in German Quidditch, the Rhinos would stand to... Oh, and a lovely drive here by Christian Zimmermann that goes through. Was he beat before? I see no signal from the referee yet. Oh, no. No good, apparently.
No good.
Yeah, I would have seen it as beat before as well, to be fair, but Rhinos seem surprised.
Jay Holmes going down to the pitch manager's tent to have a bit of a discussion. Meanwhile, on pitch.
No luck so far for the Raptors here. And some lovely tackles here by the Rhinos. Some lovely interceptions here, some lovely challenges.
Interesting decision to dive on the ball as an offensive player.
Another try here. Oh, it's blocked marvelously by Harun Omar. There's a little bit of space here, but there is one Lucy Q standing in the way of the Rhinos' potential counter. Yeah, there's no sense running into her. And the Rhinos have gotten the bludger control again.
Score is currently even, and we are now 9.5 minutes into the game.
Fake handoff and the pass directly onto the hoops into
Beautiful
several
body
players.
block. What was the player number 4 there?
Harun Omar was that? Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic body block. Proving doesn't matter what your size is, you can still be very effective on the ball.
Yeah, and that's
they bring them. Oh!
Congratulations to Raptors. Just breaking a Harun Omar tackle, barely enough to make the goal here and putting them ahead 3-2. Apparently we were wrong. 30-20 is the current score after this goal. We apologize for the confusion.
That last goal just scored by Thanangadan. Garden. There we go. Thank you very much.
Hannah Grosse getting the ball here on the left side. Passes back to Harun Omar.
Quite a low catch there. So just pushing the limits of players' passing scope. Rhino's now cautiously moving up the pitch. Just trying to set it up, waiting for the beat.
Yes, the bludger control has switched to the Raptors again, and Rhinos are doing their best.
Beautiful dodge on the beat. Looking for passing options.
Harun Omar to Hannah Grosse
that have
again.
Not been pushed back over the midway line, so that will not be counted as a reset.
Lovely beat from Leon Burgers here. Jana Chung.
Quick little pop-off, taken down.
Pass. Oh, too bad. Not the safest of passes back to Harun Omar.
Ever since the pitch boundaries have been remarked, we have seen a lot of those long, hard, firm passes go straight over the back line. So it is more of a risky shot to take now.
Hannah Grosse intercepting that one. Harun Omar getting the ball, giving it back. And that was lovely defense by the Rhinos. Surprisingly low pressure on the offense by the Raptors here. We've seen them do that better this game.
Oh,
lovely interception, but is beat out immediately. Inbounding by the Rhinos, taking their sweet time here. Then it's rolled to Hannah Grosse on the right side, pass behind the hoops. Strong challenge already. And directly into the arms of the Raptors player.
Rhinos seem to be struggling a little bit on the support with the ball carrier. I think this potentially may be their downfall.
They've seemed to lost control of the beater side of the things pretty thoroughly.
But beautiful, definitely not holding back on tackle game.
The advantage is called. That was probably a tackle from behind. So it means even if the Rhinos can stop this now.
Second and third efforts, still pushing. Velociraptors still staying in the game.
Lovely challenge here by the number 42. I think that is Markus Wagner, if I'm not entirely, or David Wagner. Till Wagner. Oh my God. All these German names. I'm Austrian. I don't know all these names. Lovely pressure pushing the Raptors player outside of the boundary. But, I mean, to what avail? There was already advantage called. So basically, you've given the Raptors the ball again. But lovely pressure by the Rhinos here, even with just one beater. Oh, with just one loaded beater, of course. Of course, they have two beaters on the pitch. Some discussion here. The Raptors do have a couple of things to add, apparently.
Yellow card. Rhinos Bonn, 42. Illegal wrap.
Illegal wrap.
Oh, illegal wrap. So
let's see if this will translate into a goal. Good positioning by Velociraptors.
But there's definitely players you want to face less in a challenge for a goal than Hannah Grosse and Leander Troll. And it's through, which means Raptors 40, Rhinos Bonn 20. And also, Rhinos are in full squad again. Yeah, they probably would have preferred that goal to not go through either way.
Let's see how the support, let's see if they can adapt to their quaffle support on the offense here.
Has two behind Till Wagner to Christian Zimpermann.
Pass is just arriving at the hip line. So they're still roughly in control. Going
To
for
Hanna
the,
Grosse, unchallenged.
going for the drive.
And, yeah, Leander Troll. That was a goal that he fought for heavily.
Beautiful passing game. Beautiful. Yeah. They identified the issue and have fixed it. They are still in the fight.
Leander Troll
Are
also
they going
been
to return
claiming.
the shot in kind?
Oh, lovely
beautiful.
swat by Till Wagner.
Still going in for the second efforts. Can the Rhinos reset in time? And they do. Forming quite a compact defense to prevent those hard drives.
50-20. 50-30, terribly sorry.
Still within snitch range.
Yeah, it's just that pressure by the Raptors. There's nothing terribly exciting they are doing so far, but they do what they need to do, and they just put the constant pressure on the Rhinos defense. It's working out for them pretty well.
And with a few more minutes until snitch on pitch, this will probably be a swim game.
Quick counter by the Raptors after a good beat. Christian Zimpermann's second effort, not enough, and it's 60-30. We are on the edge of the swim, of the so-called swim range.
For those players who just tuned in as well, SWIM stands for Snitch When It Matters.
Basically meaning that the game is within 3 goals or less, which means a snitch catch automatically wins the game with the 30 points it awards a team. A team is awarded when they catch. Zimpermann to the side. Oh, lovely little push here by Harun Omar, making the score back to 60-40. Immediately being challenged.
And doing a quick reset. Wrapping him very hard. For Jay Holmes there. Will he be able to break him down?
Now it's up to the beaters to
clean up.
Yeah. This is almost getting into like a rugby rock kind of thing right now already. Lovely beating here by Yana Chung, taking out all the Raptors players. That was a hard-fought possession by the Rhinos, and the Rhinos bench is cheering loudly. Give an extra ounce of respect to Hanna Grosse, having had a massive had to swallow a massive tackle by Jay Holmes, and then immediately shaking it off and taking part in this scrum, and also, of course, Christian Zimpermann and all the other Rhinos players here.
Timeout called by Rheinos Bonn. 1 minute.
A timeout now has been called.
Timeout by the Rhinos, yes.
And our snitch is preparing. Believe. So, what do you think they're talking about?
Well, it's pretty close to snitch runner time to put to the secret floor, so they will probably be discussing tactics as to how to adapt to the different game situation that arises with another addition, with another aspect of the game on field. Especially Rhinos will be very interested because they've sort of made it work without bludger control for most of this game, but snitch on pitch without bludger control is a lot more of an uphill battle, and that's probably what they're going to discuss, how to get it back.
It's a very difficult situation for the Rhinos. They have to prioritize their beaters either on snitch or on quaffle play. Quaffle play will get them goals on the board and bring them closer and more likely to within snitch range. If they lose 1 or 2 goals within when their seekers go on pitch, then it's all over and they have to fight even harder to close that gap.
I will be very interested to see who will be starting as a seeker for the Rhinos. There's this man with the green headband right now, Christian Zimpermann, having a few of the most legendary snitch catches in German Quidditch history to his name. But can they do without him in the chaser game? So far, he's been pretty essential, I'd say.
At this point, the Rhinos taking a beat, and their keeper.
And that will be a counterattack by the
Will they be
Raptors.
able to hold the tackle? Oh.
Yeah. Lovely challenge by Christian Zimpermann, but that will make it 70-40 for for the Raptors again.
So now they're just within swim. And with only 30 seconds left on the clock before snitch on pitch.
The electricity is definitely can be felt throughout the stadium here. I think I see who's going to be seeking for Raptors. Callum Lake, a legendary seeker originally of Bangor Broken Broomsticks from Wales. Oh, lovely pass behind the hoops, but it's deflected. But Leander Troll still has it, and if Leander Troll has the ball in your keeper's zone, that was definitely, and that is immediately. That one is immediately called. That was a challenge, a tackle around the neck, from what I could see. That will immediately give Rheinos the ball back again. Leander Troll, Harun Oma, and
trying to get that last goal in to bring them in within swim.
Strange pass, and Snitch is on pitch. Christian Zippermann breaking a couple of tackles, not being able to break that last one. Oh, a lovely pass to Harun Oma is being taken down heavily, but the player is beaten out by Jana Chung immediately. One hoop standing, and Harun Oma. Oh, it doesn't go through. Some bad luck here for the Rheinos.
Down by the Velociraptors.
But Rheinos have gained the bludger control back. That can be very, very important now.
Jay Holmes now stepping onto the field. Oh! Our snitch today is Steve Persson from France.
Seeker for the Rheinos is number 42. That would be, Till Wagner again. Another goal for the Rheinos, 70-50.
Both teams choosing not to go on to beaters onto snitch.
Both teams apparently having enough left confidence in the snitch runner. Oh no, they've both gone back on seeker again, especially the Rheinos with a double bubble of Jana Chung and Leon Bürgers.
A very risky play by both seekers to go for the snitch at the same time.
Definitely giving the opposing seeker the opportunity to catch the snitch when the runner is, is taking more care of the other seeker, of your seeker. You probably could have phrased it a lot less confusing than I did. I'm terribly sorry.
No.
We're back again.
The odds are, if with both equally talented seekers such as the ones here today, if either of them go at the same time, there is an equal chance of a catch.
The Rheinos bench cheering on Till Wagner.
And getting the beat in the back.
Lucy Q. Hannah Grosse again. A little bit too high on the ball. Will go back into the Raptors' arms. One-on-one fight between the snitch runner and the Raptors. Seeker. Lovely beat here by Jana Chung.
Number 88 Heinz from the Velociraptors now coming on pitch to seek. Going for a quick grab.
Another Raptors goal here. 80-50. It's back on the edge again.
Steve Persson holding up very well against both seekers. With that, Bludge is going flying in the center of the pitch. Oh!
If that was a catch, he took a little bit of the pants with him, but that's fine. As long as the snitch runner was not impeded in their movement, this will be a clean catch.
Referees just needing to deliberate. They seem to be discussing the shorts issue.
It's entirely possible that if the shorts are grabbed in conclusion with the tag, that would... admittedly, I'm not that well versed in snitching rules, but
If
I've
the
seen
shorts are dislodged in the process of the catch is invalidated. And it is.
But Rheinos will definitely be warned now. There was one catch already. There is certainly the possibility for another Raptors catch, and that would give this game, obviously, to the English side.
The Velociraptors a bit disappointed.
So if you're Raptors, what do? You just carry on like this. You try to keep the bludgeon control here, and you just hope for the next one. Goal went through, 80-60. Again, Rheinos in contention here.
They are back in the game. Very firm beats on both beaters. With Seekers and beaters now running back to hoops, the Rhinos now have a little bit of one-on-one time and takes the beat.
And Raptors goal, which makes it 90-60 again. Callum Lake again versus the runner. The Raptors bubble is holding pretty firmly, even though Leon Burgos and Jana Chung have given constant pressure the entire
so
time.
close. Seekers doing a quick substitution.
And Till Wagner one-on-one with the snitch runner again. Now the Rhinos are creating a bubble after a little bit of confusion by the Raptors beaters about some referee calls. Well,
a pile-up now occurring under the Raptors hoops, but both beaters from the Rhinos still staying on snitch.
yeah, they have no interest in this huddle. They want to give Till Wagner the longest opportunity. And that was a lovely beat by Lucy Q here. Raptors are back in bludger control now.
Velociraptors now going for the goal. Can the Chasers hold up the offense? Oh, a beautiful deflect.
Harun Omar, that's what he does.
Velociraptors still going for a second attempt, and it's through.
There we go. 100-60. No catching time now for Bonn. Bonn
the
will now
Rhinos screaming
have to
out
defend,
desperately, do not catch the snitch. Rhinos now going into defensive seeking. My heart, Richard.
Yes,
my heart.
Oof.
I can't take this. Rhino Seeker very firmly placing themselves and gets pushed out of the way.
And the Rhino score, so they could catch again now, but Till Wagner in no, well, also being beat out, so in no way to catch right now. Oh, those are some fingerprints of Callum Lake again on the snitch tag. Oh my God. Lovely challenge here by the Rhinos. That one's going through, so it's 110-70 again.
So 3 goals are needed from the Rhinos to secure a win. Rhinos choosing to focus on snitch earlier in the game has now been punishing them for lack of goals on the board. Creating that bubble does create its sacrifices. And now let's see if they can make their way back from this.
The game certainly seems to be slipping out of the Rhinos' hands a little. And if it continues like this, basically all that is needed is the Raptors snitch catch, which they're getting ever closer and closer to.
Another thing as a seeker is you need to consider the actual amount of time on snitch. There is, if you have a lot of time, for example, if you play a lot regularly together, it's often quite easy to have a fast catch. but trying to maximize your time with the Seekers with the snitch helps you identify their playing style more effectively.
Callum Lake challenging the runner intensely here. Obviously, Raptors, for two reasons, having no urgency in scoring here. They're keeping the quaffle possession. Oh!
Snitch Steve Person of France is going for, dislodges the shorts, but not a catch. Appears to be more of a momentum diverting snitch, which is going to be a lot more difficult for the Seekers, who are trying to put a lot of their momentum behind the catch. That will just not be as effective.
The logic control still rests with the Raptors, as far as I can see. Yes, it still rests with the Raptors, but Rheinos with the quaffle will have to try. Oh, and that is a missed beat. Oh, Hannah Grosse is being beat out, and it is Raptors' ball once again. But Till Wagner, as defensive seeker, is still there, trying to keep Callum Lake from the snitch runner. So many things happening at once in such tight games always.
We are now going into almost 25 minutes and 30 seconds. Which means the snitch handicaps will be coming on soon.
Oh, a lovely long shot here by the Raptors, taking it out even further. Rheinos Bonn 70, Velociraptors Quidditch Club 120.
For those unfamiliar with snitch handicaps, essentially, as time goes on in the game, the snitch is required certain restrictions to help progress the game further and bring it to its conclusion.
The biggest one obviously being the second handicap, after which the snitch runner can only defend him or herself, can only defend themselves with one arm. Obviously giving a little bit more of a wiggle room for the Seekers. Lovely challenge here by Jay Holmes, but Christian Zippermann spins out of it. Is being challenged though, and oh no, it's still Rheinos' ball. Oh!
Straight through for the Rhinos.
120 to 80 from the German side. You have just heard mehr Hass, more hate. Well, that is certainly an interesting turn of phrase here from the friendly Rhinos.
Fighting hard to climb their way back up the ladder.
But so far, it's sort of working out for them. They have regained the bludger control. They have a defensive seeker guarding the snitch runner. Rheinos have gotten back into this game a little. Lovely challenge here on Lucy Q. And oh, that could have been another kick in the hand. Are the referees even paying attention? I'm terribly sorry. Lovely goal by the Raptors. 130 to 80, the new score. Raptors having the upper hand here again, and also alone with the snitch runner again. Oh, and I think that was another pair of English fingerprints on the tag, but not enough to get the sock from the pants. Slow progression upfield, Christian Zimpermann. And that will be
another
a
goal.
Lovely passing goal. 130 to 90. I think that was Giulia Pugnaghi making the final goal here.
Will they return the goal in kind? A double female-to-female pass. Very rare.
Only one hoop remaining?
No goal.
Score through that.
The reason I say earlier female-to-female pass is primarily the standard lineup for most teams is to have one female beater and one female chaser. However, when snitch goes on pitch, according to the gender rule, there must be also a third female to come on pitch in order to maintain the gender rule. So seeing female-to-female passing is a bit more common when snitch comes on pitch.
Yeah, it's sadly still athletic ability or nothing aside, there still is a little bit of a grain of sexism going through our society, sadly, and that often means that female players are seen as weaker, are seen as a certain liability, sadly. And a lot of teams, sadly, reflect that trend. So it's always refreshing to see when a team really has confidence in their female players or their non-binary players and utilizes them to their actual potential and not to society's expectations.
Timeout called by Velociraptors.
I would argue, though,
1
that in
minute,
this game, all the
starting
matchups
now.
have been very reasonable.
Timeout Raptors being called. That is possible in the new rule book thanks to the rule that in any brooms down situation, a team can call a timeout. I mean, it's basically sort of a timeout already. Why not use it?
Raptors are holding themselves very strongly, even having the slightly smaller schedule than the Rhinos.
It is true. The Raptors have gone through their group stage with relative ease. The Rhinos have had to fight tooth and nail to get here.
Coming out on top in what was known as the pool of death yesterday.
Yes. one of the two groups of death. The other group of death saw. Okay, well, timeout's over. We're going into the groups afterwards, maybe. Rhinos down a chaser now. And Raptors with the quaffle possession, maybe taking this lead a little further out of reach for the Rhinos for the equalizer. Raptors playing this pretty calmly and playing this effectively, I'd argue. Oh, lovely challenge here by Leander Troll, and it is Rhinos ball once again. If I'm not entirely mistaken, that is Motte Müller on the defensive seeking against Callum Lake here in the Seeker battle. Lovely challenge here on Leander Troll, but he shakes her off. Bludger control still rests with the Raptors. Lead pass to the right side. Pass back behind the hoops. Some confusion here. Julia Punyagi dodging the beat. Reset used. Pass to the right side. Leander Troll picks it up. There's a little bit of space here, but is beat out. That will make it
Raptors return the goal.
Rhinos in full squad strength again. Well, that was a power play the Raptors could not capitalize on, if I'm allowed to borrow the ice hockey terminology here. Pass to the side, and that will make it Rhinos ball once again.
Rhinos fighting here, tooth and nail for everything they have. I think what's happening now is pretty much coming into a fitness. It's turning into a fitness game. Yeah. See who can have the highest endurance. I think the Velociraptors do appear to be the slightly fitter team, but
Rhinos make up for that in volume to a certain extent, but we all know sports do not entirely work that way. Lovely handoff here to Christian Zimpermann. Gorgeous challenge. Pass back to Till Wagner.
Very, very tight defense by the chasers of the Velociraptors under hoops. This is going to be a very tough one to break.
Oh, Leander Troll being stopped very well here by the Raptors. But we have a brooms down. I didn't see anything illegal with that, but apparently there was something.
I think at this stage, one of the things that will save the Rhinos is their passing game. There's been a significant reduction since the snitch has come on pitch. Primarily because of the fast resets. If it only takes one bad pass and it's a fast break, you've already relinquished another goal. But their compact defense just under hoops by the Velociraptors is extremely tight.
If you look at Raptors' passes after snitch on pitch, they did not seem as clean as they did before. Obviously, it's a higher pressure situation, so that is potentially giving the Rhinos an upper hand here, where the passing game looked, if it wasn't like a full-on pressure situation, where their passing game looked just as crisp and clear as it did before.
Snitch handicaps will be coming up to the fabled second handicap in about 2.5 minutes. Maybe 3.5 minutes.
There's some confusion between the scoring table and the Raptors bench upon what the handicaps are. Apparently they're a little different in English Quidditch, or at least in the QPL, which a lot of the players of Raptors are also playing in. So it's a very valid question. Which handicap is that?
It's getting a little bit chilly here down in the stands, actually.
Pass to Zimmermann.
But the heat is definitely down there.
The heat is definitely on pitch, yes. And not just because that's the only place the sun is shining. Lovely handoff here to Leander Troll. Is beat out. And it's keeper ball, Raptors. Quaffle rests in the strong arms of Jay Holmes. Bludger Control is back with the Raptors, who are giving their Seeker a better bubble, and now
Putting
Raptors,
in a...
Raptors are full on going for the snitch catch. The most important handicap now is the chance. The snitch runner basically has only half of his defenses anymore.
Seeker for the Rhinos, number 19. It can't seem to get any close to the snitch. They have now permanently put a beater in front of the snitch. This could be it.
And that is the catch. That is the catch. Did you think that was good?
It looked okay to me. Very difficult situation for the beaters on Rhinos.
Yeah.
They were on a defense. They didn't have control. And so their Seeker could not get close, but also they could not relinquish that extra goal.
Pristine play by the Raptors here after the timeout. When they got the bludge control back, they didn't let it go once, and that gave the opportunity for their Seeker to do his magic. And the catch is good! 160 star, 290 is... Oh, we have a replay here. Or we will have a replay soon. Right now, we're just getting the camera. Replay is incoming, being told by the technical team. And there it is. Slides. Pushes him to the side here, and then just takes advantage of the weak side and grabs it. Yes.
Well, their player was numbered 15. That there was Mike Orridge, which is the youngest player in the tournament at 16 years old.
Nothing to be worried about for the English and for the British in regards to their younger players. There's some good stuff coming after that. The final score is Velociraptors Quidditch Club 160 star to Rheinos Bonn 90. But give it up for the Rhinos. They played a massive, massive game here. It just, in the end, it came down to Raptors being the better team. And as well, give it up for the Raptors. They played this calmly. They played this coolly. A little less kicking to the hands would be better, but apart from that.
And very soon we will be handing off to our analysts who have been sitting behind us this entire game, picking apart the more subtler parts of the play. Let's see if they spotted things we didn't.
So let's give over to the analysts. I was Richard Turkovic.
And I am Jandals.
Goodbye. And we're back here with the analyst desk. We've just seen an exciting game. Velociraptors Quidditch Club from the north of England, 160 star. Rheinos from Bonn, Germany, from the Rhineland, 90. With me here, terribly sorry, it's early in the morning for me as well. With me here are Fraser Passport and Bex McLaughlin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This was exciting. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it was the most physical game I've seen of the tournament so far. There were some cards, bit cheeky play, but as we say, it is hard to tackle in Quidditch, and to tackle legally, probably even a bit more so. So yeah, very, very physical, and a wild beater game. Less about finesse and all about power. Fraser, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, this is one hell of a game to start day 2. Like, if this is the standard of Quidditch being played through the rest of the tournament, I'm very excited for what's to come. Just you said, like, very physical, all about defense, I found, this game. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that defense, sometimes you had a Raptor player going on their own, and then Bonn would would clump onto them, and I'm talking like, you know, you had a point where you had Jay Holmes with the ball, but you had all of Bonn, 4 Bonds on, a Bon, if you will, situation, taking them down, which was very good, because it's like, hey, we're a team, we're going to come together, clump, and take them down. It was great.
So I've actually trained with both of the teams that have played here, and I noticed there with Bonn, they were playing their 1-1 defense system where they have 1 point chaser, and if that point chaser then gets sort of overtaken by the ball carrier, then they've got 1 right behind them just to take that contact, and sort of doubling up on the ball carrier, kind of like the double point system we've kind of seen over the course of this season across the UK. And it worked really well for them. And it wasn't just that. Their hoop defense was phenomenal. Their blocking denied Raptors on several occasions. And they made Raptors have to work so hard for every single goal, which is so important. Like, if you give away easy goals to a team, it demoralizes yourself. And it also really spurs on the other team because they haven't had to work so hard to get it.
I mean, not just their hoop defense, their entire keeper zone defense, I'd argue. Like, there was no single unchallenged person at any point during the entire time.
No, exactly.
Yeah, none of those goals were easy. And I think even though Bonn are walking away with a loss on this one, it's their first time in the upper bracket. So it's exciting to see them there. And of course, 160 star to 90, they were only 10 points out of swim.
Yeah, exactly.
So perhaps on a
I must
different
say,
day,
compared to their game against Antwerp yesterday, where basically that game, Antwerp killed them on the counter-attack, absolutely killed them. And they had nothing in response, whereas today their transition defense was fantastic. They really contested everything. And they created a lot of sort of slow, steady offenses, which allowed them to be more set, more prepared for those possessions and gave them a better chance of denying the Velociraptors.
And I mean, also, like, yesterday they had the slate of just having played London QC, so it's just a little bit more understandable that against the fast breaks, against the just pure athleticism of the Antwerp Quidditch Club, that they wouldn't have been this. And now they're a relatively well-rested. Bex, what would you say?
yeah, to leave this tournament having beaten the British champions and then have a really good showing against another elite team from the UK, I think that's given them a lot to build on going into next season. And maybe we'll see them pushing the top 6 next season. Who knows? I think, as well, my MVPs for the tournament, for the Raptors side, Steve Withers.
Definitely.
He's been on the UK scene for quite a few years. He played for Loughborough, but it's like suddenly sort of really seeing him just completely come into his own. And you think of your male chasers from the UK, and he's not instantly the first name that comes to the fore, but I think that's going to change. And if he's not on Team UK this year or next, then file a police report because he's been robbed.
Daylight robbery.
And then on the Bonn side, Hannah Grosser.
Hannah Grosser, yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness, phenomenal. I've lost track of how many goals she scored, but she had fantastic positioning,
and her
that quick release, and the defense. Like I saw her, she took a Raptor player down, like a full complete tackle by the hoop. He still scored, but only because I managed to get the ball off of her, and she was mad about it. I was like, girl, you could not have done more. So I don't know why you're mad about that.
There
Like,
was-
you did everything you could. So
There was one
yeah.
particular attempt by the Raptors. I mean, I've talked about it on stream so many times. I don't think I've said any two words more this entire morning than Hannah Grosse. The amount of times I just had to shout her out. And there's one time where she just took a full Andre Holmes tackle.
Oh, yeah.
She was knocked down, but immediately got up, immediately went back into the huddle that resulted from that with 3 other Bonn players that like just literally had I taken a J. Holmes hit, I probably would have just laid down and be like, well, goodbye everybody, that's me for the tournament. But Hannah Grosse just, well, that happened, let's continue with the defense. That was insane. That
just
was
want
amazing.
to add on to, while we're talking about Rhinos, Leander Troll was phenomenal in this game, especially from an offensive standpoint. I think in general, Rhinos struggled this game offensively. They didn't quite get like the opportunities they wanted.
I mean, if
but
you call 90 points against Raptors struggling, then sure.
Well, of course you like to score every play. That's not always the case. But
then about that, right? There was a moment where they didn't have bludger control. The one other Bonn didn't have control. The bludger that they could have had was like yeeted somewhere. Raptors brought 2 of their beaters up, and Raptors didn't score on Bonn with that amazing quaffle defense. So, yeah. I think that's okay.
Yeah, no, just going back to Leander, because he missed the first day of the tournament. Unfortunately, had to work yesterday. So he's come this is the first game of the tournament, and what a first game! Like, he's really added something to the team, and through the consolation games they got left, it should sort of see them get a higher ranking.
I mean, that's another one for the German community. Bonn beat LQC without Leander, so that shows you how good they are, man.
And I think last point, we're talking, important players. Mikey Orridge.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Bill
my
Orridge's
God.
little brother, but soon we'll be saying, oh yeah, Bill Orridge, he's Mikey's older brother, whatever. What, he's just turned 17. He's
16, is it?
16, 17?
16.
So he's a little baby, right? And he's caught the snitch. And that's the future of Quidditch. Get these, like, that could be the Louis Lamette of the UK down the line, because of course they started playing there 15, 16. And it's exciting to see where he's going to go.
I mean, had you not made that comparison, one of us probably would have made it. It's relatively...
I think that's a fantastic point, because you look at when people join Quidditch, usually around when they're university students, when they're 18, 19, that kind of age. But I believe the future of the sport is getting into schools, it's appealing to the younger generation that didn't grow up with Harry Potter.
Yeah, as an...
So I
Younger
think Mikey
generation.
started... Yeah. I think...
Face
Mikey,
it, Bex,
I think
we're all
Mikey
getting
started
old.
playing when he was 14, just like casually. Obviously couldn't compete officially, but he's absolutely loved the sport and really embraced it. And obviously having Bill Orridge as your big brother, fantastic kind of support in your own family there. And now he's playing officially. He's absolutely killing it.
Oh, for context, in case you don't know, so Bill Orridge is a Team UK veteran, and he's been on Team UK for, I think, three seasons or something. Just for context there. Also, his dad, Howard Orridge, made all the hoops for the tournament.
Yep. MVP Howard Orridge.
So there you go. A real family of
The Orange
MVPs.
family. I mean, there is a similar sort of comparison on the Rheinos side with the Elster family. Sebastian Elster, having moved on to Berlin Blue Caps for the tournament, already has a gold medal around his neck from winning the Division 2 last month in Warsaw. And the Elster family, obviously an important family in German and international Quidditch, as like the sort of go-to medics for everyone if the medics of the tournament are on another pitch, and just providing moral support, providing hydration throughout the entire day. So that was definitely not only the meeting of 2 top teams of their respective NGBs, but also of 2 top families of their respective NGBs.
Indeed. Definitely agree with that.
Quidditch parents who just bring so much to the sport, and they don't, not creating drama. This isn't Little League. They're not shouting at the refs. They're just they're just getting on. What skills can I bring to make this sport that my kids do better? And I love it. I wish Howard Orridge was my dad. To be honest.
There you go. You heard that first day live stream.
All right, I think we will be moving on to the interview segment relatively soon, from what I get from the technical crew and from people already standing here in the studio. So all it says for me to say is give a big thank you to Fraser Prosford and to Bex McLaughlin for our analysts
been a pleasure.
here, and we will be back in a second.